8952, take 1.
Game shot.
Now then, welcome once again to the Indoor League. Pub games played at the top level by the top lads. We've got a real treat for you this time, the finals of our table football, the fastest game in the world. It's very popular in students' unions and technical colleges, and looking very confident are the British champions, Crowpatch and Bulkett from Doncaster. But right now, on the left of your picture, the greatest double act since Abbott and Costello. Eric Crane and Steve Kelly of Leeds University, who reckon to be the world's greatest at this game.
Stephen Kelly, the unbeaten, unofficial world champions, are in yellow. On the other side of the table, Alan Smith of Jeff Armand, also from Leeds University, so these two teams know each other really well, and it's Smith and Armand.
Stephen Kelly and Eric
blue.
Crane 1, Alan Smith and Jeff Armand 0. Next ball.
So already Crane and Kelly are one up. That's Crane and Kelly. They do little else but play table football, it seems. One of them going for an economics degree, the other, having failed his degree, is now working for a turf accountant in Leeds.
May not be dab hand at exams, but take it from me, Crane and Kelly can make that ball talk. And their fans swear they'll stroll this competition. But before we see who wins the money, have a look at a cracking darts match. We started with 16 top oilers. Now we're down to the first semi-final in our competition on a Yorkshire board, remember. Winner of the final gets 100 quid. Your commentator is Dave Lanning.
Jerry Hayward, the boy from the Brunswick Hotel, Dewsbury Moor. Now, he's straight off, remember, 501, straight in, double eight. Here goes Jerry, 20, straight away. 40.
80.
Very steady start. Jerry Hayward from the Brunswick Hotel, Dewsbury Moor, been playing 5 years, but this is Colin Minton, 27. He's single, the boy in glasses, the big boy.
60.
He's got 60. Remember, the first semi-final of the Indoor League competition, and now the time has come for when the cussing has to stop. Now they've got to get down to it. This is Hayward. Hayward banging those 20s.
60.
Another 60. Now Minton. Minton, heavy boy. Been playing darts since he was a boy. He had to play on a stool. He had to stand
60.
on a stool once when he started playing, but he can't sit down on the job tonight. 60 again, nothing in it at all. Now Hayward. Hayward, hair over his collar. Missed that one. Won't like it, doesn't show it. 80. And it again, that's 2 off, and Jerry Hayward won't be happy with that one. Now Minton can come back into this game. Colin Minton, that's in the double top. That's going for the double 18 and just missed it. That's another one over
76.
the 18. But good darts from Colin Minton, the boy from the Royal Oak Easenwood. This is Jerry Hayward. Jerry Hayward, looking calm, looking assured, ready to go, 20. 40. 60.
60.
The sheer monotony of these dart players is just unbelievable. Now Minton, Minton again, banging those 20s. Well,
60.
Why do they put 1s and 5s and 12s and 18s on the board when these boys can pick out 20, although there's no tomorrow? Now Hayward. Hayward in the semi-final. Hayward going for glory. 25. 45.
45.
Well, by these standards, that's not a good score. So now it's Minton, 245. Remember, he must get 501 and a double 8. That looks outside to me. That's in the 20. That's in
40.
the 40. 40 scored. Jerry Hayward. Boy from the area finals of the News of the World. A cool customer. That's a 20. That's 40. He's thinking about it, but
60.
he keeps it there. They make it look so easy, but believe me, you try to do it. This is Colin Minton. A big, heavy boy. Very steady.
60.
There's 60. Unbelievable stuff. So steady. Now, it's Hayward. Hayward looking for a big one. That's a good start, double top. That's 60. Way! That is 100.
100.
And that is what this game of darts is all about. He needs 78, but now here we have Minton on 145. He needs a shot at. That looks like 40 to me. 60. Needs an odd one, I think. No, he's good there. And that's 80, and that's
80.
a good reply. Now we're on to 78. This is Jerry
78
Hayward
wanted
going
by
for
Hayward.
78. Which way is he going to go? Let's have a look now. It's all on this. He's gone for 18. Is it 18? It's right on the wire. I can't quite
18
see.
scored.
He's thinking about it himself. I think it's a double top he needs.
38 scored.
Yes, it's double top. What's this one now? He's taking his time, and he's missed it.
38 scored.
He's missed it. There was drama. Now 65. 65
Minton
for
requires
Colin
65.
Minton. 65. 20, 45 he wants. Double top. Let's have a look at it. Let's have a look at it. And he's missed it.
45 scored.
45 scored. That's double 10. Now he wants double
Hayward
top.
requires
Jerry Hayward
40,
from
double
Easingwold
top.
needs double top. That little red bed at the top of the dartboard. This is all he wants. That's underneath it. Double 10. Just outside the wire. Just outside the wire. And again, just outside
20
the wire.
scored.
And, well, Minton is back in with a chance. Minton
Minton
on double
requires
10.
20, double 10.
Finishing is what this game is all about. Let's have a look at this boy, see if he can do it. Minton trying hard. Very close, just on the inside. Double 5 up the top there. Just
10
missed
scored.
it. Well, the nerves are showing because now the competition is really coming to its crunch.
Hayward requires
now
20.
Hayward on double 10 out. Over there at 4 o'clock. Right on the wire. Right on the wire again. You can't get closer. You couldn't get a visiting card in between those darts and the wire. Bang, and he's just inside. There's
scored.
2 5s. Now we're on double 5 apiece.
Minton
And really,
requires 10.
the tension here is just too much. Outside. This is Minton. There
Game
it is!
shot.
Colin Minton, the joiner from
First leg to
Easingwold,
Minton.
and he's really putting the joints together there because that's the first leg in the bin for Colin Minton. The first one in.
More top quality darts next week, but now meet the two lads who may not be the flashiest table footballers in the business, but for my money have the look of killers, Crowpatch and Bowkett.
Right, first ball.
Frank Bowkett, who were British national doubles champions in 1971. John Crowpatch, British national singles champion in 1971. So they must be favourites against David Norman and Philip Rowbottom of Sheffield. Crowpatch and Bowkett of Doncaster, yellow. David Norman and Philip Rowbottom of Sheffield.
I don't think so. Keep playing.
This is Crowpatch and Bowkett.
Bowkett and Kopex 1, Norman and Rowbottom 0. Next ball, please.
Right then, we've seen the two favourite pairs in the table football. Let's see how they go on with the smell of money up their nostrils. Remember, the aim of the game is 6 goals and your team wins. Watch out particularly for the wrist work and the holding of the ball. In the semi-final, it's Alan Smith and Jeff Armand against Crane and Kelly. Crane and Kelly leading 3-2 and kicking away from you towards the top
So
goal.
it's the second
Your
half.
commentator
Kelly
is
and
Keith
Crane 3,
Macklin.
Smith and Armand 2. Next ball, please.
Kelly, unbeaten in 3 years, not having it all their own way. There they are, looking a little tense. They're against Alan Smith and Jeff Ormond, who also Leeds University, and they've had some tremendous battles in the Students' Union, and there the ball whipping straight through and off the table, so referee John Willis putting it back. 3-2 for Crane and Kelly, the artist. Kelly, the defence man, and Crane on attack. They're kicking towards this goal here, but of course Smith and Armand themselves would love to win.
Crane
That's
and
another
Kelly
one
4,
that's
Smith and Armand
4-2
2.
for Crane and Kelly, and they nodded their own approval of that. Moving these 3 feet rods back and forward, always trying to cover every inch of space so that no one can find a way through with that ball, and using the defence positions to move the ball across, even back to the goalkeeper, who picks it up out to the fullback and then moving into the midfield area, trying to draw the defence out of position. There you see the wrists, supple and taut. These rods, 3 feet, need a great deal of controlling. So it's Crane and Kelly.
Keep the game moving down.
In defence, their goal nearest to us. Oh, and that's a good comeback.
Crane and Kelly 4. Crane and Kelly 4, Smith and Armand 3. Next ball.
So Smith and Armand not out of it yet. 4-3. Trying to bring another one back. Crane and Kelly, this proud record of having gone 3 years without defeat. Now in the front line, trying to draw the defence out of position. Did it beautifully.
Crane and Kelly 5, Smith and Armand 3. Next
So
ball.
it's best of 11. Another goal will mean 6 and it'll be all over. And Crane and Kelly, as expected, the favourites will have gone into the final. In the back line, gently move, and a shot right from the back. It almost found a way through. The beauty of this game, you can hit it from anywhere. And very often the defenders will rattle it. Quick flick of the wrist. You can't turn the bar completely over, but you can move from left to right. Foreplay, studies in concentration. Smith and Ormond, they can't afford to concede a 6th goal. They've got to get to 6 first if they want to pull off this major surprise of beating the favourites, Crane and Kelly. It's in the front rank of Crane and Kelly. This is, in fact, Eric Crane trying to hit this winner, while Smith and Ormond trying to come back. It's tremendous. There's Crane and Kelly concentrating. It's Kelly who's at the back. They know each other so well. Moving it practically half an inch, and that can be enough to find a gap. In the middle rank. Now Smith and Ormond trying to get it away, but can't get off the hook at the moment. This is Crane and Kelly. Easing it left and right. The defence scurrying across to cover. Just an inch is enough to find a gap. Once the gap is found, that explosive shot, and it can come from anywhere. Still Crane and Kelly in possession, trying one from the back. Now Smith and Ormond in their front line. Kelly's defence being tested. Again, the gentle movement from side to side. Try and the good goal.
Crane and Kelly 5, Smith and Armand 4.
So it's 5-4 and pretty close. A beautifully worked opening there. Just an inch is all that's necessary. Now it's in the front line, possibly for the winner, for Crane and Kelly. But 5-4, they've rarely been tested like this, Crane and Kelly. Smith and Ormond, of course, played them many times at Leeds University Union. Another couple of goals, but that's the winner.
That's a win.
In the final, Crane and Kelly, as
That's a win for
expected.
Kelly and Crane, 6-4.
So it's the favourite should have shared 50 quid at least, and looking confident that it will be the £100 first prize. But down Doncaster way, Crane and Kelly don't cut much ice. In the pubs and at the local tech, they swear by John Kropak and Steve Boquet, the reigning British double champions, already well on their way through the draw. Just watch the cool method of these two. So now let's see what David Norman and Philip Rowbottom of Sheffield on the right here can do again them.
Right, first ball.
So John Kropak and Frank Bowkett of the Tally-Ho Doncaster, reigning British doubles champions. They're in the lighter coloured men. There they are, Frank Bowkett and John Kropak, and that's David Norman and Philip Rowbottom of Sheffield. And the favourites for this to go into the final, Kropak and Bowkett. They are reigning British doubles champions. Crane and Kelly are unbeaten. To explain that, Crane and Kelly didn't play last year. There's the first goal for Kropak and Bowkett.
Bowkett and Kopak's 1, Norman and Rowbottom 0. Next ball, please.
Kropak and Bowkett, very, very cool. Not a great deal of flair, not terribly spectacular, but enormously cool. They understand each other's play. Frank Bowkett claiming to be one of the best defencemen in the business. His partner up front, John Kropak, is singles champion with that sort of form.
Bowkett and Kopak's 2, Norman and Rowbottom 0. Next ball,
So
please.
already Kropak and Bowkett building up the lead against brave but slightly outclassed David Norman and Philip Rowbottom of Sheffield. John Kropak's singles on the left. And these two doubles, the men in the dark figures, Norman and Rowbottom, the Blues kicking away from us. But the favourites for this particular match kicking towards us with the lighter men, the yellow footballers. And this is Kropatz trying to tee himself up for another shot with a good clearance there. Norman and Rowbottom really up against it, but fighting hard. They're already down. That's getting a little bit hectic, a little of the coolness gone out of the play. The coolness that one associates with Kropatz and Bowkett. It's getting a little flighty at the moment. They'll cool it down in a moment. That's a quick shot from the back by Norman and Rowbottom. Now misfired that one from Kropatz and Bowkett. Frank Bowkett, and the spectators absolutely enthralled by this. That almost crept through. They want to see the spectators see Kropatz get through. There are the supporters, the Doncaster supporters in force.
Kropatz and Bowkett 3, Norman and Rowbottom 0. Next ball.
And of course, Kropatz and Bowkett want to get into the final to tackle Crane and Kelly again. They were beaten in the Yorkshire television final by Crane and Kelly. Norman and Rowbottom trying hard to get on the score. They don't want to be whitewashed. There you see again this powerful wrist movement that's necessary. Oh, that crept in. Good one, and they're delighted about it.
Kropatz and Bowkett 3, Norman and Rowbottom 1.
So the Sheffield pair pull one back, 3-1. Bowkett and Kropatz, of course, trying one from the back. Every now and again, a quick, fearsome shot from the back can find its way through. You can score anywhere on the table with these men. Again, almost creeping through in the front line for Kropatz and Bowkett. Again, the movement from side to side and the shot.
Change round, gentlemen. Change round.
Very,
Bowkett
very
and
vocal
Kropatz
support
4, Norman
for
and Rowbottom
Tally Ho at
1.
Doncaster, and with the score
Second
at
half.
4-1, they change colours. It's best
Okay,
of
gentlemen,
11,
first ball,
first to
please.
reach 6. Kropatz and Bowkett
4-1
leading
to Bowkett
4-1.
and Kropatz.
So 4-1 for Kropatz and Bowkett. They're within 2 of getting into the final that they want against Crane and Kelly, and it's an uphill struggle for Norman and Rowbottom. Norman and Rowbottom kicking towards us now with this long uphill struggle, but Kropatz and Bowkett in possession. There's a good shot from the back. Kropatz and Bowkett now with the lighter men, hammering them away from the back. This is Norman and Rowbottom losing possession in this midfield area. It's all pretty excitable at the moment. Normally Kropatz and Bowkett cool it down a little more than this. Oh, that's a good goal.
5-1 to Kropatz.
So it's 5-1, so John Kropatz and Frank Bowkett of the Tally Ho Doncaster leading 5-1 against David Norman and Philip Rowbottom of Sheffield. Norman and Rowbottom putting up quite a fight, but having to play second best in this semi-final. They've done well to get to this stage. 5-1 up in the dangerous front line. Kropatz and Bowkett teeing themselves up for the shot, wins it. So they're in the final. Kropatz and Bowkett versus Crane.
Who's your money on then? I'm saying no, but I shan't be surprised if Brian Clough and Don Revie aren't hanging about, wait to sign these lads on. Let's remind you of the prize money for this final. Winning pair £100, losers 50. Remember, Crane and Kelly have never lost a match in a serious competition.
On my right, Frank Bowkett and John Kropatz, who will be playing in yellow. And on my left, Eric Crane and Stephen Kelly, who will be playing in blue. OK, gentlemen, let's kick off. May the best men win. Right, first ball.
So this great match between the unbeaten Leeds University students Crane and Kelly and Kropatz and Bowkett from the Tally Ho at Doncaster. Crane and Kelly against the reigning doubles champions because Crane and Kelly didn't compete last year. So what a tremendous match this sets out to be. Kropatz and Bowkett, there they are, gently moving it from side to side in their front line, trying to get Kelly, the defence man, out of position, but Kelly got to that one, but it's still Kropatz and Bowkett not letting them off the hook. An engrossed crowd, Kropatz and Bowkett trying to pull off the surprise of the table football year, in fact the table football decade, by inflicting a first defeat on Crane and Kelly. These two university students have never been beaten. There they are, played together for 3 years without defeat, know each other's game. This is Kelly at the back, trying to get it away from Kropatz and through to Bowkett. Oh, that was a mistake. That's one to Kropatz and Bowkett, a tremendous roar. It was a mistake, an attempted clearance, which hit
Crane
her forward
Kelly
and came
nil.
in.
Next ball, please.
So Kelly, the defence man, trying to clear. So it's now Crane trying to get his attack functioning. What a shot! A tremendous shot from the back,
Balkin
and this
and
crowd of
Kovacs
supporters
two.
realising
Crane and
that these
Kelly
two
nil.
could be on the way to an upset.
Next ball, please.
2-0 already, and Crane and Kelly are not used to this sort of treatment. They're the men in the blue, they're the men in the dark, and they're 2 down. Everybody quite incredulous about this, and of course Kropacz and Bowkett from Doncaster have got a tremendous volume of support in the crowd tonight, and everyone would love to see a surprise, except Crane and Kelly. Kelly trying to get it away to midfield. The wrist twisting and turning, sinewy, with these 3-foot rods. Crane and Kelly studying concentration. Now they're beginning to get worried because Kropacz, the attacker, singles champion, is lining up a shot, dummying, moving from side to side, finding gaps, pausing, suddenly shooting. The tactics of this game, far more involved than one would imagine. You've got to draw your men out of position, draw these 4 lines of men out of position, then fire through. And that's Kelly trying to sneak away through, but Crane not having much chance to attack up front of him. Now Crane has a chance. Now he's allowing the ball to roll and those wrists absolutely taut with tension. The difference in styles between these two, Crane and Kelly now very taut, Kropacz and Bowkett much more relaxed and methodical, and studying flair versus method, and method leading at the moment 2-0, a tremendous final. And this is Crane trying to pull one back, now moving into the front line for Kropacz and Bowkett, and 3, another surprise. It really is looking troublesome. We could have a shock on the way. It's 3-0. They can hardly believe it.
Kropacz 3.
Kropacz very, very chuffed.
Nil.
Those two
Next ball,
puzzled.
please.
So 3-0. 6 is the winning target, the best of 11. So there's still a long way to go, and Crane and Kelly are so brilliant they could easily pull this back once they find their form. But they've been shaken by this. Wrists again working all the time, but it's still Kropacz in the attack position for Kropacz and Bowkett, the Doncaster men. Again, pausing. Kelly now in defence. Must get it up to Crane before they can start scoring. Oh, and another one in off. And it's beginning to collapse around the ears of Crane and Kelly, and they realise it too. That look speaks volumes. What on earth is going on? Well, these two know they're within 2 of pulling off the upset, winning the championship and beating Crane and Kelly. Their first ever defeat, if it happens. 4-0. And again in the saddle, Kropacz and Bowkett, and in front of goal. Looking for the gap, looking for the inch or 2 of space, the sudden opening of those 2 defence lines. And it's in! It's happening so easily, it's almost unbelievable. But that crowd of supporters, they change round at 5.
That's an incredible
situation. 5-0 for Kropacz and Bowkett. And these two, Crane and Kelly, facing their first defeat and a whitewash. This is the incredible thing. They could be whitewashed. They must get a go to avoid that, and they must get 6 if they're going to pull off victory. But it's Kropacz and Bowkett of the Tally-Ho at Doncaster beating the 2 Leeds University men who've never before been beaten. And that's it! It all happened so easily. And that's what the crowd thinks about it. What a shock.
Well done. Well done, gentlemen. Well done. Thank you.
Well, you've got your revenge. It's champs at last. They beat you before. How do you feel?
Oh, well, feel great, really. Well, it's the easiest game at night. These other teams got 1 goal.
Yeah. Well, one team got 1 goal, other got 2 goals, didn't they? I mean,
sorry,
these are
it's
I don't
true.
think the 2 goals.
Of course, you are the national doubles champions, aren't you?
Yeah.
He's the national singles champion as well.
And you're the national singles champion?
Yes.
Well, you've got some good supporters behind you, haven't you?
1 or 2.
And they're absolutely
Only the
delighted.
best. Only the best.
Anyway, I think myself was a great final. The biggest upset since the Wolves of Jericho. Crane and Kelly cut down the size. Next week, a game that's not as noisy or hectic as table football, but every bit as skillful. We've got 8 of the best shove-halfpenny players in the land, nudging it out for the money. I'll see you then.